Krishnas. Prabhuji, please occupy your below vacancy. You may take over the call when you are ready.
Sure, Prabhuji. Sorry for late. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So this is chapter 4 of 9th canto. Ambrish Maharaj offended by Durvasa Muni. Text number 20. This 18 through 20 I have to read, right? 18, 19, 8.
Let me see.
Prabhuji, it's all together.
Yeah, I understand. So 18 to 20, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, 18-20 is together.
17 तक हुआ ना पिछले बार?
नहीं प्रभु जी 20 तक हुआ.
So
Oh,
now
21
it, so okay.
21 से पढ़ना है.
Because the poster says 20, so I mean,
Oh,
okay,
sorry,
fine.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji is 21 because the yesterday's speaker became very long, the purport for His Holiness Shami Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, fine. Got it.
Thank you.
एवं सदा कर्म कलापमात्मना परधियांगे भगवत्यजोक्षजे सर्वात्मभावं विददं महिम् इमां तन्निष्ठविप्राविनीता सहा. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In performing his prescribed duties as king, Maharaj Ambarisha always offered the results of his royal activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the enjoyer of everything and is beyond the perception of material senses. He certainly took advice from Brahmanas, who are faithful devotees of the Lord, and thus he ruled the planet Earth without difficulty. Purport: as stated in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shanti Mrichati. People are very much anxious to live in peace and prosperity in this material world. And here in Bhagavad Gita, the peace formula is given personally by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone should understand that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the ultimate proprietor of all the planets and is therefore the enjoyer of all activities, political, social, cultural, religious, economic, and so on. The Lord has given perfect advice in Bhagavad Gita, and Ambrish Maharaj, as the ideal executive head, ruled the entire world as a Vaishnava, taking advice from Vaishnava Brahmanas. The Shastras enjoin that even though a Brahmana may be well versed in the occupational Brahmanical duties and may be very learned in Vedic knowledge, he cannot give advice as a guru until he is a Vaishnava. Satkarma nipuno vipno mantra tantra visharada avaishnava gurur nashyat vaishnavasva pacho guru. Therefore, as indicated here by the words of Tannishta Viprabhitaha, Maharaj Ambarish took advice from Brahmanas who are pure devotees of the Lord. For ordinary Brahmanas who are merely learned scholars or experts in performing ritualistic ceremonies are not competent to give advice. In modern times, there are legislative assemblies whose members are authorized to make laws for the welfare of the state. But according to this description of the kingdom of Maharaj Ambarisha, the country or the world should be ruled by a chief executive whose advisors are all devotees, Brahmanas. Such advisors or members of the Legislative Assembly should not be professional politicians, nor should they be selected by the ignorant public. Rather, they should be appointed by the king. When the king, the executive head of the state, is a devotee and he follows the instructions of devotee Brahmanas in the ruling country, everyone will be peaceful and prosperous. When the king and his advisors are perfect devotees, nothing can be wrong in the state. All the citizens should become devotees of the Lord, and then their good character will automatically follow. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunais tatra samasate suraha harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorate sa nati davato bahi. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of God has all the good qualities of the demigods, but one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. Citizens, under the guidance of a Krishna conscious king, will become devotees, and then there will be no need to enact new laws every day to reform the way of life in the state. If the citizens are trained to become devotees, they will automatically become peaceful and honest, and if they are guided by a devotee king, advised by devotees, the state will not be in the material world but in the spiritual world. All the states of the world should therefore follow the ideal of the rule of administration of Maharaja Ambrisha as described here. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Evam sada karma kalapamaatmana pare diyajne bhagavatyadokshaje sarvatma bhavam vidadan mahim imam tannishta vibrabhi hita saha. In performing his prescribed duties as king, Maharaja Ambrisha always offered the results of his royal activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the enjoyer of everything and is beyond the perception of material senses. He certainly took advice from Brahmanas, who are faithful devotees of the Lord, and thus he ruled the planet Earth without difficulty. I'm very happy to be with you all after a while. I think I somehow feel like I connected with this forum after a long time, not sure when. So it is very wonderful to read Srila Prabhupada's purports, and Krishna willing, we have all the time in the world to churn every purport. So I feel that this one purport alone we can speak for 5 days. So much of nectar that Srila Prabhupada has given, but within next half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever best possible, we will serve you all for the pleasure of all of you. The very first point that I want to share here is about the aspect of taking advice from faithful devotees. What does it actually mean? This sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, all lectures we hear sadhu sangha, japa, seva. There's nothing new that anybody will say. But the purport of each of those statements, each of those words varies depends upon our understanding and our surrender. My first reflection is to discuss about the aspect of taking advice from Brahmanas who are faithful devotees of the Lord. The reason I'm picking this up is, I just want to even talk on this topic alone for the next 1 hour. I would be happy to do that because it's such an important topic. And in my services in our congregation, a little bit of whatever I have learned from my seniors, I'm trying to help devotees and devotee families to practice Krishna consciousness and also stay together in their life. In that process, we very much get to learn how each and every one of us have our own understanding and expectation from the process of Krishna consciousness, from the people involved in Krishna consciousness, and from the services associated with Krishna consciousness. Very, very interesting, especially when you step back and analyze what we expect from this process of Krishna consciousness. At least if I can say myself, we expect a magic wand. So I just suddenly come inside the process of Krishna consciousness. There is a magic wand that goes around my head, and I suddenly become a self-realized soul, or I all my problems in my life are solved, or I'm become completely free from uh, all the propensities. Uh, so that is that true? That is true statement, but it is not about the statement alone. It is about the application of that statement in one's context. It is said when somebody says the word Hari, just by the word Hari, he can cleanse all the sins that somebody would have not even imagined they would commit in one's life. Just by calling out the name Hari, gets cleansed of all the sins. So look at all of us who are chanting Hare Krishna, performing devotion service, giving Bhagavatam class, meeting the Vaishnavas, what all we are doing. If we add the list, by now probably we all should be, you know, we all should be having our four hands and flaunting around everywhere as, Vishnu Dutas. For the kind of amount of times we would have chanted Hari's name, for the amount of services we all would have done. I'm sure each and every one of you are sincere enough in your own endeavors. But are we in that state when we analyze ourselves, the way Tukaram Maharaj got um, privilege of Garuda Vahana came to airlift him? uh, None of us are in that state. At least for damn sure, hands down, I am not in that state. I cannot talk about anybody else. But why? Because somewhere there is a disconnect between what I perceive about this process of Krishna consciousness and how Krishna consciousness actually work. Number two, okay, Prabhu, I may not understand the process, but I see several times I've been told that he's a self-realized devotee. My Guru Maharaj is a self-realized devotee. This is a great Vaishnava. If that is the case, then why his blessings is not working? Which means why that somebody's, Ashirvad upon me? Why, he is treating me differently than my other fellow? He's giving a better privilege to my other fellow than me. He's self-realized devotee. All these years I've been hearing him as a senior devotee, but that's not how a senior devotee behaves. So your lava matra sadhu sangha, you guys are saying that. Why lava matra? How comes lava matra sadhu sangha here? I've been associating with that person, but still things are not happening. So where is the problem? So which means that person has something amiss. So our perception has a problem with people. Now look at the services. When you look at services, where people are engaged in services, the way the services are supposed to be done vis-a-vis the way the services are approached by us, There's a disconnect. So, my first and foremost point that I want to drive home here is that this disconnect from our perspective towards the process, towards Vaishnavas, and towards services has nothing to do with process, Vaishnavas, or service. It is everything to do with ourselves. The day we first accept this, we will be at peace and start actually working on our Krishna consciousness. That the day we accept this. And Pramana is Prabhupada's quote in Bhagavad Gita, where Prabhupada writes, for all that you are experiencing in your life, you are responsible. So, when I come to terms with this definition, with this explanation, and when I also understand philosophically that I want to get rid of materialistic suffering and permanently be situated in Krishna consciousness, the only solution is taking advice from Brahmanas who are faithful devotees. The only solution. Because everything else is embedded in the chanting, reading Bhagavatam, service, Dham Seva, deity worship, Vrata, obvious renunciation, austerity, all those words, they are all embedded into that one single line. Taking advice from Brahmanas who were faithful devotees of the Lord. Because they give prescription according to our own conditioning. So there is something called as medical science. There is something called as translation of the medical science into medical products. There is something called as prescription of those products according to your disease. All the while we study about medical science and medical product without taking the necessary prescription for our disease, we will never get cured. Is medical science wrong? No. Is the medical product wrong? No. But just because the necessary product to be consumed for you is not consumed because you don't have a prescription. So all authorized things are not bona fide. All authorized and bona fide are not recommended. Every one of us need authorized, bona fide, and recommended medicine. So, scriptures are authorized. From those scriptures, Acharyas have given us something bona fide for our current scenario. Is Rig Veda not authorized? It's unauthorized. But which Rig Veda you go and study? Is it bona fide? So we study that which is derived out of Rig Veda, that which is derived out of Vedanta Sutra, natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra, that too by a bona fide personality. So the point is, authorized and bona fide through a process recommended makes the treatment complete. So our engagement in this Krishna consciousness process with the Krishna conscious person for a Krishna conscious service gets completed only when we take advice from a bona fide devotee of the Lord, which actually means application of the principle that Rupa Goswami has taught. Guhyam akhyati prichati. Guhyam akhyati prichati means having confidential, loving relationship with fellow devotees and exchanging our heart. This process is not institutionalizable. This process is personal. What institution provides? Institution provides Shastra. institution provides bona fide process to learn those shastras. Institution provides access to the devotees who have got knowledge about these bona fide scriptures. But our transformation and our personal relationship with this institution, our personal relationship with Vaishnavas has nothing to do with the institution. It is not my relationship with my fellow devotees, my relationship with Manidhar Prabhu, my relationship with Vamsi Vilas Prabhu. I'm just reading out names from the screen. Is all very personal. ISKCON cannot control that. Gaudiya Math cannot control that. No operations in this world can control that. That is why Krishna consciousness is a qualitative phenomena. Everybody else, institution can help, institution can facilitate, institution can provide tools. My growth in Krishna consciousness is subjected to my endeavor in approaching a bona fide devotee Brahmana who is a devotee of the Lord and taking his prescription for my personal devotional life. So, if this part is understood, then we know where to run to and where our solution is lying. All these classes, all the discussions, all the books that we have sold are very important for the first and second part. Knowledge and the process of gaining those knowledge, that is publicly discussed. But application of the knowledge is very customized. It depends upon my surrender. It depends upon my preparedness to walk the path. Treatment is always like that. As much as the patient is ready, the treatment has its effect. As much as the patient is suspicious, the treatment is also very partially successful. So, my first reflection hence is the engagement with a bona fide devotee Brahmana is a must part in our devotional journey for us to learn to understand this process, learn to recognize the Vaishnavas, and learn to recognize the service and do it nicely. And I will tell you when and how I will conclude that I am rightly situated and then move on to the next reflection. Prabhu, how do I know that I am, I know I'm doing what you're saying? There is a saying in Tamil. I'm not sure if anybody is Tamil in this room or not, but at least I'll say this and then explain them. Aryama Viryama, matlab, which means whether it is about your mission or your perception, it is always mission. In the sense that I want to prove a point, vis-a-vis mission has to be accomplished in one particular way. It is always mission ahead of the individual. So, in your own mission of transforming yourself, in your own mission of winning yourself to the lotus feet of Krishna, the day we rise above our ego, the day we rise above our superiority complex, the way we rise above our own opinionated thinking, the day we rise above my I, me, mine quotient, the day I subscribe to the success of the mission, which is Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, that is the day our that's a proof of us actually taking the right medicine, getting the right prescription, and rightly situated. Because that is the mood of a soldier, that is the mood of a servant of Lord, where his focus is to please the Lord. His focus is to glorify the Lord. The focus is to serve the Lord. His focus is to bring so many people to the lotus feet of the Lord, for which hum hazir hai. I am available at any cost. So, this is my first reflection and the most important one for today's learning. Since I do not want to just limit with these reflections, we are going to other ones. Otherwise, I want to talk about this more and more. Because today, many of the problems in devotee communities or between devotees or even our own between families is because we keep changing our views and opinions depends upon what I perceive rather than trying to go and try to cure myself, trying to go and cure my consciousness and try to take medicine for my personal abilities in assimilating Krishna conscious philosophy. I go and find everybody else is a fault. If something is not understandable, we tell that person has not taught us correctly. Having said this, we are not discounting on our perceptions also, which is my second reflection. So, in the second reflection, I want to say, in performing his prescribed duties as king, Maharaja Ambarisha always offered the results of his royal activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When will I value my perception, or I would say my, strong opinionated thinking, give a lot of weightage when I am inclined towards this? So, my second reflection is I need to learn to offer the results of my activities to Krishna. And when I start doing that, then my heart is at a neutral state. When I try to claim the results of my activities as I be the beneficiary, my heart is not at the neutral state. My heart is a biased state. With a biased state, naturally, I will have a biased opinion, biased perception, and the whole world is centered around me. So, my second reflection is Ambarish Maharaj's glorification. It is very highly glorified of Ambarish Maharaj because of him always offering the results of his activities to Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's a purport, Srila Prabhupada says that if somebody has done Navavida Bhakti at, in one personality, example was Ambarish Maharaj. Like for example, Shravanam, we have Parikshit Maharaj. Kirtanam, we can give example of Sukadeva Goswami. Like that, every process we can give some role models. But is there a role model who has done Navavida Bhakti? It is our friend Ambarish Maharaj. The reason is he is offering every result of his activities to Krishna, which means he's a perfect soldier, which means he doesn't have any personal agenda. I don't go to the war because my family is going to get pension. A real soldier is not the one who joins the army for benefits of the army. A real soldier is the one who joins the army for the mission. A real soldier is the one who's not joining the army for some private agenda, personal agenda. Then he's not a real soldier. So my second reflection is to say that the day we perform our duties, we are not even talking about devotion service here, perform our duties as a husband, as a wife, as a children, as a citizen. We have duties, lot of duties. The day we perform our duties and offer the results of the duties to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's when we are in a neutral stand. That's when we are in a position to start, evaluating. Am I thinking correct? Am I doing things correct? Is that devotee correct? So basically, Prabhupada writes in the purport, why devotees of Krishna is very important. Because Srila Prabhupada writes that a normal Brahmana will not be able to give that much advice as much as a devotee Brahmana. Maharaj Ambarisha took advice from Brahmanas who are pure devotees of the Lord. For ordinary Brahmanas who are merely learned scholars or experts in performing ritualistic ceremonies are not competent to give advice. So, if I am with that frame of mind of offering everything to every results of myself to Krishna, that frame of mind prepares me for following the first reflection that I spoke about. That's when it's like, no, I need to be a genuine patient, then the genuine treatment will work. If I'm a fake patient, real doctor, no great success. Fake patient, fake doctor, anyway waste. Genuine disease, fake doctor, there's also problem. So we need to be a genuine patient and genuine doctor. We discussed about genuine doctor in the first reflection, but as a genuine patient, we need to have the goal of getting cured for a larger agenda, which is to look after my duties and responsibilities. If I am just trying to do things for the sake of it, for formality, then we will be very biased and not be able to see things as they are. So, my second reflection is that for us, in the process of, in the journey of trying to practice Krishna consciousness and be a sincere practitioner soul, it is imperative that we, as a practicing devotee, try to offer as a basic and from him comes knowledge maintenance and knowledge remembrance and forgetfulness. So if
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, we are your voice is coming and going.
arrogance will, then my arrogance will keep me away from devotees, keep me away from reality, and I can keep saying that I went to Krishna but nothing worked for me. The problem was not with Krishna, problem was with elsewhere. So as a practicing devotee, for us to have a highest benefit in sadhu sangha, one need to learn to think for Krishna, think as an everything as an offering to Krishna, rather than thinking that I am the beneficiary in this process. But the interesting beauty here is, as you do it for Krishna, the way the Lord is functioning, He will make you as a beneficiary anyway. Because that is how Krishna's Lakshmis are designed. The moment Krishna is pleased, all the Lakshmis will go and search for that person who pleased Krishna and will go after that person and please them. I'll give you two episodes. One episode is Sudama story. When Sudama pleased Krishna, in fact, Sudama didn't even want to give away whatever he brought from home, that dry chipped rice. But when Krishna snatched from Sudama's hand and ate it, and when Krishna got pleased, all the Lakshmis got into job and started doing their job without even any specific instruction, because they've already been pre-told. If my devotee pleases, just go and serve him. You don't need, this is all pre-approved loans. Pre-approved. Pre-approved. Second episode is, this happened in Vrindavan, where it is always the custom that all the gopis, when they want to see Krishna, so they dress up very nicely so that they look beautiful for Krishna. This is the nature of a beloved wife towards her beloved husband. She wants to dress nicely to be attractive to her husband, to her lover, to her life partner. This is natural. Even in the materialistic context, we typically want to dress for our life partners. Of course, nowadays the scenario is changing. I'm not getting into that, but I'm saying in a typical cultured family. So all these gopis, they came so much decked up. You should see the description that Sukadeva Goswami writes. He writes about all the cosmetics that nowadays ladies are using. Not the brands, but the cosmetics, what all the ladies use to dress them up. Sukadeva Goswami writes that gopis dressed themselves like that to look beautiful for Krishna. And what used to happen is all these girls, when they used to come to see Krishna, they used to come bunten, completely ready, tayyar hoke aate the. And when Krishna, when he comes to the scene, he gets attracted to one particular gopi. For some reason, he goes after her. And you know what all the remaining other gopis do? They are not upset. Rather, they go after that particular gopi after whom Krishna went and try to dress that gopi, decorate that gopi, make her look more beautiful so that Krishna can continue to be attracted. Even though individually I want to be attracted to Krishna, but here the goal is Krishna being pleased, not I am getting attracted to Krishna. Please understand there's a very subtle difference here. I dress up so that I am attractive for Krishna. But when Krishna gets attracted to someone else, I am not envious towards that person, not angry with Krishna. Rather, I go after that person and serve that person more. So these are the two, references that I want to give with respect to the context of in our engagement of service with Krishna for Krishna. And then, with that frame of mind, with that thought process, our self-centeredness gets eliminated and we get better perspective to take right advice and eventually understand the process, understand the personals, understand the devotional services. This is my second reflection. The third and last reflection is about the point that Srila Prabhupada explains about the peace formula, how those who are devotees of Krishna, they are always knowing the secret of this Krishna consciousness, which is the highest solution for all humanity related problems. His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj used to regularly recite this verse and try to explain how this sloka, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. So, when people understand that Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, so he is the supremely uh, and eternally our Father, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Ishvara, controller. When we realize this fact, our entire we understand this not in just theory but in actual reality, then our entire perspective towards Krishna consciousness will change. So Ambarish Maharaj, with the anger of Durvasa Muni, his stature, his priorities, his perspective, they are all different from what we would otherwise do it in our own lives. So from that viewpoint, it so happened that we are we are seeing Krishna in a slightly different viewpoint as a conditioned soul. But those who have understood point number 1 and 2 that we discussed will see Krishna as a Sarva Karana Karanam. Because this Karana Karanam is a very interesting science. Sarva Karana Karanam is to be understood from two angles. One angle is Sarva Karana Karanam is Krishna, because for every act there is a cause, but there is a cause of cause, that is Krishna. And for every fault, for every damage, there is a cause, but the cause of cause is me. So the Sarva Karana Karanam I want to explain in two parts. One is Sarva Karana Karanam of all the good things that are happening to me in my life, and all the challenges which improve me in my life, all the situations that makes me better towards going closer to Krishna, they are all coming from Krishna. But all the sufferings, all the offenses, all the anarthas that I have acquired is because of my misuse of independence. 13.23 purport Srila Prabhupada writes that we continue to struggle in this material world because of our misuse of independence. So what is making you stay back in this material world? Me. That's my first point that I said, that in our material life, the suffering in this material life is because of my decision, and the happiness in this material life is because of Krishna's mercy. That is actually the way it is supposed to be perceived, though it sounds very uneven. And if you think it is uneven, which means we are envious of Krishna. If you think, yeah, that's correct, Prabhu, then we have understood the philosophy correctly. So my third point is Karana Karanam. The day we realize that Krishna is the cause of all causes for all that is happening, which means even the desire that I had, the wrong desire that I had, because of my hell-bent desire, Krishna had to sanction. And one small caveat in that is, because Krishna is our eternal Father, Krishna is looking after us, we are indebted to Krishna. So at some point in time in our lives, we need to make sure that we look after Krishna. So the day we desire that I need to look after Krishna, how? I look after Krishna because I love him, not because that he is incompetent. When I say I look after someone, it is not because of somebody's incompetency alone. It is because I do not want him to exert. I will extend as much as I can for his projects. So from that perspective, the love manifests in the heart when you do the number one and number two things. If I take shelter of a bona fide Brahmana devotee of the Lord, and second reflection is, if I start offering the results of my activities to Supreme Lord, what naturally manifests in my heart is, I get to realize Krishna is the cause of all causes, and I am the cause of all the suffering in my life, and my love for Krishna should be unconditional. Hence, I will start look after Krishna's needs. That will be the natural outcome that will come upon us. So Ambarish Maharaj is exactly in that frame of mind, and we will learn more lessons in our discussions from other speakers also. How Ambarish Maharaj, this maturity not only saved him from all the anger of Durvasa Muni, but also kept him at a very, 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 very high level. So much so that after several thousand years, we are still discussing about him and trying to learn from his life. He is a Mahabhagavata, that Bhagavata about whom the Lord is always thinking upon. There are some devotees who are constantly thinking about Krishna. There are some devotees who are in Krishna's thoughts. Ambarish Maharaj is that one because of his personal conduct as a devotee. Krishna is constantly remembering him and appreciating him. So, these are the three sets of reflections that I want to submit here. And as I said, this particular purport can be elaborated as much as we want to elaborate, but then within the time, I just thought to limit myself with these three reflections. With number one, in our lives, it is important for us to subscribe to a personal bona fide Brahmana devotee of the Lord, so that under his direction or her direction, we will be able to apply Krishna consciousness customized for our own spiritual growth. And for that, we need to be not self biased. And to eliminate our self biased, we learn to offer the results of all our activities to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And when we do that, all it happens is we'll understand Krishna as the Karana Karanam and I as the um, reason for all that I'm suffering, and love for Krishna gets to manifest in the heart. Thank you all so much. If there are any questions, comments, reflections, I'll be happy to respond. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Any questions or comments?
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Yes,
Go
Mataji.
ahead, Prabhuji. Go
No,
ahead,
no, no, I was
Prabhuji.
just saying thank you for enlightening us with such a nice pastime, and so many teachings are there. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful class. The point really struck me is like the gopis, how if I was there, obviously I would be jealous instead of feeling envious. Of course, that's why they are gopis and they are in highly exalted state. They in fact went and decorated that gopi even more. That shows that there should not be a tinge of jealousiness even like in the service of Krishna. And another point is Prabhuji, I want to get again clarification. I'm not sure if I got the point right. When we offer all the services to Krishna, then slowly we understand that Krishna is cause of all causes, and I am the cause of suffering, and because we misuse the independence we got, the free will. Um, is that Prabhuji? Can you please elaborate on this point?
Yes. So the point I was trying to drive home is sometimes we see even after being devotees, we get upset with Krishna, we get upset with
Mm,
the devotees, we get upset with so many things
mm-hmm.
because somewhere we put ourselves in the center.
Yeah.
So when we are putting ourselves in the center, we become biased.
Mm,
Krishna should have not dealt with me in such a manner. You know how many nights I served for Krishna? Do you know how much of money I have spent for Krishna? You know how much of time I have. So, when we put ourselves in the center, we become biased in our viewpoint. With the biased nature, we will not be able to understand Karana Karanam. So, Karana
mm,
Karanam is a very profound, important thinking that Brahma has taught us, that for everything that is happening good in our lives, or
mm,
even everything that is happening bad in our lives, the final sanction comes from Krishna because of whatever protocol and uh, uh, strategies that have been said there.
mhm,
So Krishna is the cause of all causes,
mm,
and parallelly as an individual spirit soul, what am I supposed to do is I need to question that if my have I used my independence correctly.
mm,
The greatness of Arjuna is
mm,
that he doubted his decision.
mm,
If he has not doubted, what if, suppose, for example, assume just like go and tell anyone about Arjuna's decision before he surrendered to Krishna. Everybody will think that Arjuna was what a wonderful person he is. What a great personality. I mean, he's just trying to relinquish everything in life and just wanting to um, go to the forest. Huh? But Krishna completely, completely scolded him and said that you are wrong.
Mm.
Katasuna katasumscha nanucho shandi pandita. You're stupid, Arjuna. The reason is Arjuna was prepared to be receiving that, accusation because he doubted himself. So what I was trying to say is that when we offer the results of all our activities, at least we get to know from whose source, from whose help, by whose arrangement everything was happening. So our self-centeredness focus will be shifted from us to Krishna, which will prepare us to see the reality. Today we are not able to. I am telling you, the last several months I am in counseling few families, and I'm trying to make this focal point, explain that we are responsible in our lives. Please don't blame others. Please take responsibility for your own action. So this gusta nahi hai, Mataji. It doesn't go on somebody's head
So true,
so
Prabhuji.
easily.
So true,
Mm.
Prabhuji. As you said, when I hear it's like, okay, it's my karma, the cause of the suffering. But when you get it, that doesn't go in the mind. It is so hard to accept it. Like, I was the cause of the karma I'm getting from someone. I shouldn't blame anyone for this. But still, as you said, it's really hard when
But
you face the
I'll tell you the
situation.
beauty of this hardness. One more statement.
Mm-hmm.
You counseling others, you will make this statement like a, like a sugar candy. You will give this advice, but
Mm.
will you give the same advice to you sitting in front of mirror to your own self? You will not.
No, no, Prabhuji, you're
So
right.
the irony is, ये भाषण हम दूसरों को चिपका तो बहुत अच्छे तरह से आपके कर्मा है, you have not, you have misused your independence, this that, please be patient. अरे पासा पलटे, you just search for yourself and see for yourself. When it happens to yourself, you say, will you give the same advice to you? No, no, no. Oh, Prabhuji has scolded me like this. This Mataji should have told me earlier. That Prabhuji gave me a stare. That service was not assigned to me properly. I was always all right. So this is that's why I'm saying, the honesty, with the honesty of Arjuna, when you
Mm,
surrender to the spiritual master, that of Krishna, the net result is glorious. Okay, the
mm,
honesty of Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami, surrender to the honesty of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Look at the look at the explosion of Hare Krishna world, right?
mm,
So
mm,
that honesty, Arjuna doubted himself. So we
mm,
seldom doubt ourselves, Mataji. We seldom doubt ourselves. Arjuna doubt,
mm,
what if I am wrong? What if I am
mm,
wrong? Because of me, several several $1,000 hours, man hours, people's lives, so many things will go back, go on bonkers. So
mm,
better let me double check. And
mm.
for double check, where will I go? I will go to that
Krishna.
person who surrendered to Krishna or who's Krishna himself. So
Mm,
this is why devotees are super special, because this is a very simple point, but if you understand this, you will laugh at every moment. You'll be, at ease at every moment.
mm. So, Prabhuji, so I understand that we should always have a benefit of doubt because Arjuna, though he was pure devotee, so he still had a doubt. So it's like always when whatever action we do, we should double check with Lord Krishna before we do.
Yes, yes.
Mm,
We should double check with our first point is, have a bona fide Brahmana Vaishnava
mm,
to be as your mentor. That's why I
mm,
said this particular purport, we can speak for 5 more days, because there is
mm,
something else completely political, how a decision taking is supposed to be happening. Mataji, you are responsible for your own life, understandable. What if you are
mm,
responsible for 100 people's life?
mm,
What if you are responsible for 1,000 people's life? What if you are responsible for million people's life? How you are supposed to be responsible? How you are supposed to conduct yourself? Every word you speak is going to become a game changer of somebody's life. So as you are becoming more and more responsible, the process would also be much more and more. That is why I didn't even go to varnashrama and all those things, because this whole lecture I want to limit to self and self assessment perspective. The same
mm,
purport can be presented to a political scenario. The same purport can be presented to an institutional scenario. The same purport can be presented towards a completely from the perspective of Varnashrama Dharma scenario. But I just presented this from a scenario of how, from individual standalone devotees viewpoint, how do we understand this purport? Otherwise, there are many lessons Prabhupada is giving, because it is important to be sure what decision that you are taking. I mean, you go and buy a gold. You just walk in a gold shop and buy, or what? Will not cross check. Will not see the certificate, hallmark certificate, this certificate, that certificate.
So many ways.
But
Like,
if for buying brinjal, we see if it's organic or genetically modified. What is because of so many things. And but Krishna consciousness, if you go to rickshaw wala and ask them about physics or geography, he says, sir, मैंने पढ़ा नहीं है. So mathematics नहीं sir, मैं स्कूल नहीं गया. लेकिन भगवान के बारे में सब लोग बोलेंगे. And सब लोग सुन भी लेंगे. I mean, we will be listening from rickshaw wala and taxi wala about God, because everybody can speak about God as if God is a freebie, right? So it's very important. That's what I meant.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for wonderful explanation.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for explaining this verse with so many realizations and takeaway points. You said, I need to learn to offer the results of my action to Krishna, then my heart becomes neutral. As a result of that, I will realize that Krishna is cause of all causes. And then I'm going to come to a conclusion that suffering is because of my karma, my actions, and joys are Krishna's mercy. And
Yes.
then you gave the examples of gopis that Mataji was referring to.
Right.
Mataji, Prabhuji, when I was listening to that pastime, the point that stuck to me was we can look at that pastime in terms of our services. Like if we are around devotees and we are all trying to serve, and if we see that one particular devotee is really serving very well, so our goal should be how we can assist that devotee in doing even better than that. Seeing that a person is doing something really nicely, the thought that we should get is, oh, that is Krishna's reciprocation, that's why he's able to or she is able to perform so well, so let me serve this devotee so he can perform even better. That was
which
the
is
way I
which,
was looking at.
which is also okay, so long as saying that you don't get a iota of jealous, so long as you don't get an iota of feeling that Krishna, maybe I'm a second priority. So long as you don't get that, it's absolutely fine. There's no problem. So in our devotional life, Mataji, it is also like this, where when I am trying to serve the Lord, when I'm trying to associate with devotees, somewhere during the course of our purification, we get to see some expectations in the process. For example, if I am given a service, in the process of me doing the service, if the ultimatum is my pleasure, then we are still Kanishta. If the ultimatum is Krishna's pleasure, even though I will give a simple example. There is a devotee by name Harikesh Maharaj. He's once used to be Prabhupada's one of the senior most disciples, sannyas disciples, but he eventually left his ashram. He was once Srila Prabhupada's personal secretary. Okay. And in those days, being personal secretary of Srila Prabhupada means it's a very high profile service. One day Srila Prabhupada called and said, you are supposed to leave this service and go to Germany. So Harikesh Prabhu cried and said that, Srila Prabhupada, if I had done any mistake, please forgive me. Please don't send me away from your lotus feet. But Prabhupada was very insistent about it. But when Prabhupada is insistent, what can you do? So Harikesh Prabhu went to Germany, and exactly 9-10 months later, that was time where every GBCs were welcome to Mayapur. Harikesh Prabhu came with a bunch of Srila Prabhupada books, translated in German language, published in German language, and gave it as an offering to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada looked at him and said, you see, you are capable of this. You are hesitant to go to Germany, but you see how much wonderful services you have done. Glorious. So sometimes, if I had used the principle of, hey, I like this service of being with Prabhupada, vis-a-vis, this is what Prabhupada likes me to do. Even though I don't like to do what I'm, asked for, I still do it because Prabhupada likes is a higher principle. And similar example is our Brahmananda Prabhu. Suddenly, Prabhupada called him one day and said, you have to go and preach in Pakistan and Africa, the two interesting places in this world where everybody thinks 20 times before going. And that too in those days where there were black and white, discriminations and things like that. But Brahmananda Prabhu did that to the extent. Srila Prabhupada once told jokingly, or made a comment, even if I happen to see Brahmananda smoking a cigarette, you all should offer obeisances to him. That's the kind of service he has done to me. So these are all very heavy statements, very subtle statements, very important statements for us to contemplate on. That it is important we do service that we like, that we are able to better perform, which is okay. But we should evolve to a standard where I'll perform service for the pleasure of Lord and for the pleasure of my spiritual master. When you do that, then your differences with your fellow devotees, your misunderstanding with your community, your expectations from one another, they all change, and everybody will be unilaterally thinking only one agenda: what pleases Guru, I will do it. Making sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. And then I was also thinking about the point that we discussed on sufferings. Prabhuji, what personally I think is like immediate reaction to any suffering that comes in our life is that, oh, I didn't do this, like probably someone else caused this. That is so true. But when we sit down and introspect, or when we sit with a devotee and talk about it, a realization comes that eventually, Prabhu, whatever problems are there, the realization comes that they are all because of either I have done something, or this is reaction of my previous karma, or this is how Krishna wants me to be, and I'm gonna just do my best in this situation. So
Just
that,
imagine, if
yeah,
you if you
thank you.
if you, if you, if you just imagine, if you have understood this, how much lighter we will feel. How much lighter. But as I said to you, thank you so much for your, reiterating that. We theoretically know this, but how many times we fail on this? Suddenly we get angry, suddenly we get outbursts, suddenly we get impulsive, suddenly we get anguish, boo, boo, and finally, Baba, it's all you. It's all you who have messed up big time.
Yeah. And Prabhu, when we live in that resentment that, oh, he did this, she did this, that did this, I did, we are always, our mind is disturbed. But when we make peace that, oh, it is either because of my previous karma, or this is how Krishna wants me to, be, that gives you a peace of mind. Like instead of just
Absolutely.
living in that resentment and that frustration, you have to pick. Sometimes there are situations where you can't do anything, you just have to be there. So it is very important to make peace with that situation and continue with
Yeah.
our sadhana. And Krishna, it is magical how he gives us strength to deal with whatever we are going through. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for this powerful, realizations today. Really appreciate
One,
that.
one, one rejoinder I'll add you. Just a very, very subtle point I'll tell you. Sometimes we also think that, sometimes we get to cry in front of the Lord. Sometimes we kind of become suddenly a magnanimous devotee. We start dwelling on the magnanimity. Even that is also dangerous. I'll tell you why I'm saying is that, okay, oh, this is all my karma, so I'll take it upon myself. It is like, हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, मैं मेहरबानी कर रहा हूँ. So, ये मेहरबानी नहीं है. So sometimes we may think that, okay, I will come settle in peace to think that, it has happened, so happened. And I look at others as if I have sacrificed. I have come to, to an acceptance saying, चलो चलो भाई मैं मेरे सिर पे लेता हूँ, कर लेते हैं. ऐसा भी नहीं है. It is like genuinely, it is for me to realize it is the time for me to improve upon myself and let everybody else help me. And that stage is a stage of absolute humility. When I have an iota of doubt that, okay, I got into peace just because I want things to happen, at least I do not want to be an obstacle, I do not want to argue there, even that understanding, even that magnanimity is also something at one point in time should go away. That magnanimity is great, but if we have to go beyond that also to the stage saying that in this entire scheme of things, if any good is happening, it's because of Krishna and the fellow Vaishnavas. If anything that can happen, I will work upon myself. That's the very
Yes.
difficult state.
Yes, Prabhu, because I'm speaking for myself, because when obstacles come, they become like when this kind of problems come, they become obstacle in our devotional services, right? And the goal is to, at least we should be able to do our japa, at least whatever menial services we are doing, we should be, because when we are hit by like chota mota chalta hai Prabhu, but sometimes we are hit by really big disturbances in our life, and at that
Right,
time,
right,
right, even
right.
to continue our sadhana, even that is very difficult,
Very difficult.
right?
Very
So
difficult.
just accepting that Krishna, this is your will and this is my karmas that are coming back at me. Yeah.
And Mataji, one further rejoinder is when you stay with such devotees together, suppose with such a mindset, suppose 10 devotees are like that and you are one amongst them, you never even knew how you got normalized like that. That is why the recommendation is, why do you stay in such a sadhu sangha? You put yourself in such an assembly of Vaishnavas who are 10 times, 20 times, and 500 times more magnanimous and surrendered than you. Then your biggest rock in the heart will will also get powdered in no time. You don't even realize how I became so lightweighted. Otherwise, to even remove one small iota of dirt from our heart, it takes aeons. So I guess we have a very wonderful arrangement, just that we need to capitalize on it in the right spirit. That's all. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yes,
Wonderful,
Prabhuji,
wonderful,
thank you
wonderful.
so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam for
Hare
such a
Krishna.
powerful class. Yes. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Any other comments, questions, reflections? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for this next class. As always, after a long time, we heard you. And so nice, Prabhuji. And I second Preeti Mataji's, Sneha Mataji's point that with the gopis you explained. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for explaining so nicely this verse. And as you said,
Hare
you can talk more and more on this verse, but we have limited time. But thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I didn't mean to say that I can talk. I meant to say that the essence in that purport is
Yeah.
so deep that we can churn it. I mean, not to
Mm,
boast of that, I have stuff, but I just want to say that Prabhupada is
mm.
so potent in whatever he's giving. So, my God,
Yeah.
we can just go on churning. Just go on churning. Anyway, thank you so much for engaging
Hare
in
Prabhuji,
this.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my
Go ahead.
humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. As we mention or as we hear you every time, it is always wonderful and very powerful classes, Prabhuji. Um, Dandavat Pranam. You explained about Sant Tukaram Maharaj that touched my heart. Whenever I hear about Sant Tukaram Maharaj, it touches my heart. Uh, yeah, and the way Maharaj was.
My
Maharaj
God.
went to Vaikuntha on the Garuda, and that picture stands in front of me every time whenever
Oh my
anyone
God.
says talk about this. So I just want to know that is that tree still there from where Sant Tukaram Maharaj?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Please come to Mumbai. I'll take you to Dehu. Very nice. It's just 1.5 hours from my house. If this is an immediate, you know, picnic destination spot for Vaishnavas. At least I would have been there for 500 times to that place.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Dehu, beautiful place, Dehu, beautiful place.
Thank you. Definitely, we'll try to make this time in our India
Please
tour.
come. It's a beautiful place and very small village. Santa Tukaram Maharaj's house is also there.
Yeah.
The Gata Mandir is also there. Everything is also there. And Santa Tukaram Maharaj's life is such an important lesson for a practicing devotee through his words as well as his life. So he is our glory of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
Actually, everybody says that ISKCON Navi Mumbai is called Glory of Maharashtra. So we have a different version. ISKCON Navi Mumbai is, Glory of Maharashtra because of a Glory of Maharashtra called Sant Tukaram Maharaj.
Yes, yes. And anyway, Maharashtra is well known for
Ji, ji.
saints and Mahatmas, Santa Mahatmas land, So yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Like
yes,
so many
yes.
santas have been appeared there, and with such good pastimes. Like,
We are
yeah,
all working on a series of life pastimes. We have done Pundalika, we have done Santa Tukaram, we have done Zanabai. Now we are working on Gora Kumbhar and
Gora
Choka Mela.
Kumbar,
So
Sauta
we are,
Mai,
yeah, so we are trying to make
Namdev.
a drama series. So
Wow, very
because
nice.
because these are all some personalities whose life many people don't know. So I think I
Yeah.
already shared Zanabai drama to you all. So anyway, we
Okay,
can
this
keep.
you're making the drama series, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yeah. So drama, we have already done Santa Tukaram. We have done Pundalika. We have already done Zanabai. Now we are working on, either this March, every annual festival that we celebrate in our congregation, we put one drama. So this year, we are thinking of doing either Gora Kumbha or Choka Mela. So let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Prabhuji.
Can
that's
you,
really good, Prabhuji. Yeah.
can you please
Yes.
send me again, Prabhuji, so that
Yeah.
Shamana, I think I shared it with you, didn't I not?
I don't remember.
I think it went back now. Yeah. So we have to.
I'll forward that. I send you the YouTube link of Zanabai drama.
Yeah, please send again, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank
I'll do it.
Prabhuji,
And
can I
Prabhuji,
ask you something? I'm so sorry, Prabhu. Go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
go
no,
ahead.
no. One realization I would like to just mention with respect to this tree, what we discussed.
Sure.
My grandmother, when she used to tell me stories about, all our scriptures, because she used to hear Bhagavatam in her town when she
Mhm.
was, you know, uh, doing her daily chores, and after her daily chores in the evening they used to have Bhagavatam classes. So from that she used to just tell those stories. So in this like Sant Tukaram Maharaj also, she mentioned she visited, they used to walk until Pandarpur, and this Devanandi, that was their austerity. But she mentioned it, you at least visit this place once in the lifetime during Tukaram Beach, when Sant Tukaram Maharaj went to the Vaikunta, and that some specific time, that tree you will find it, like there is a plane going on, like when the leaves moves and something like this. She said, say, I realized that whatever she said, So,
You know why she said that?
huh?
There may be many reasons,
Yeah.
but two reasons which we always say is that in a dham, three things are permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is changed. Three
Mm-hmm.
things are permanent. Number one, the dust is permanent
Mm-hmm.
because the dust of the dham would have any one particle of dust that is currently in the dham would be continuation of the dust in touch with the Lord's lotus feet, right?
Mm.
Like when the Lord was there, there were dust and dust over
Yes, yes.
dust, then uske baad dust, uske baad dust, uske baad dust. You cannot eliminate dust zero, na? So
Yeah,
the
Dati
dust
is
is
already there.
the,
Yeah.
the dust is always there. So dust is
Bhumi.
permanent. Second is Vaishnavas are permanent.
Mm.
Because Vaishnavas in the Dham, they are continuation of the existing Vaishnavas. So lineage continues. And third is the pastime is permanent. Rest everything is changeable. Buildings
Mm.
may change, people may, the culture, local demography may change, language, everything can change, but these three things
Yeah.
cannot change. So that is why we go to Dham, we smear the dust. So if you go to the Dehu place, you will see the place. The tree is a witness. That the tree has witnessed Lord Vittal. The tree has witnessed Tukaram Maharaj. So people go and
Yeah.
hug that tree. People go
Yeah.
and smear the dust from that place.
Yeah.
So that way it works.
Yeah, we had been to that place, but it was like very long time back. But definitely, I will try to make this time, Prabhuji, that like my heart
Sure, sure.
touches there.
Please, please come. Please come. Please come.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Mataji. You
Haribol.
can
Thank
go
you.
ahead, please.
Prabhuji, like we were recently in India and we were planning, like Vrindavan Prabhu was gonna take us to Dehu, but somehow
Uh-huh.
it didn't
Oh.
work out. Yeah, Prabhu, there is one abhanga, like because you sing all these abhangas, and I wanted to have the whole Abhanga. If I don't know, I cannot find it anywhere, but it goes like this. माझे मज कळो येती अवगुण काय करू मन अनावर. Do you have like that full Abhanga Prabhu by any chance?
I have a book of Abhang. I'm not familiar with this particular one, but somehow I don't know why. Maybe Krishna is very, tricky, naughty. When I was in my grade 3 or grade 2, I hail from South India. I have zero knowledge of Marathi and Hindi, and still I have known little bit of here and there, whatever, because of my being in Bombay. When I used to be in grade 2 and grade 3, my mom and dad used to take me to an Abhanga class. South Indian teaching Marathi Abhangs. At the time, I learned around 30, 40 Abhangs. And that's all that I flaunt with that 30, 40 and try to get, because in Maharashtra, amongst the Hare Krishna devotees knowing one or two Abhang itself is a big thing. Now I flaunt them 25, 30. Oh my God, Ramgiri, there is a senior devotee. ऐसे कुछ senior नहीं है. हमने बचपन में सीखा तो हम गा ही रहे हैं. But I have a book, Mataji, where at least if not 40,000 of Abhangas of Tukaram Maharaj, but good substantial numbers which are available. I can share them with you. There
Yeah,
are
because I'm not able to find this full complete Abhanga Prabhuji.
sure. You can text me the one. I will send you the lyrics. I'll pull out and share that with you.
Sure, thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Sorry, Prabhuji, one more thing related to Mataji's question. I have to check with my mother. There is one place in, it is in, I think, Pandarpur itself, where like she recently fed 108 Warkaris there, because we are from Warkari Sampradaya. So by birth, So she mentioned, like, I visited long time back there, and they had some big Abhanga book in their locked up showcase, there, and they say that that is one of the mutt, but I don't remember. But they say that it's a original copy of those, like a kind of someone has written, and it's still there. So I'm not sure which mutt, but I have to check with her.
In Dehu, Prabhu, there is a room
Okay.
where they have kept it in a glass case, manuscript of Abhang. In Pandarpur, if it's there or not, I'm not sure. In Dehu, one private group of people, they have constructed a temple called Ghata Mandir. In that Ghata Mandir, what they have done is they have, on a granite stone, they have inscribed all the Abhangs of Tukaram Maharaj. So the entire temple is a temple of Abhang. So if you will see every Abhang in a stone, it is inscribed over there, ground floor, first floor, at least a good number, maybe 1,000, 2,000 Abhangs would be, there. Maybe whatever they could have access to, all of them are there. And there's a main Bada Tukaram Maharaj reading. You can search for Gata Mandir of Dehu. You will see a picture of them.
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for letting us know so many things. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, one last question I have.
Why not?
Like,
Sure.
When Mata ji was saying regarding you were saying about magnanimity, association of devotees, I didn't get that point so well. Is that like, Prabhuji, with my experience, whenever something is when my mood is not good, but because of some situations, when I hear to one of my Shiksha Guru's class, I don't even say anything about it, or I don't even talk about related to it. But after hearing the class, automatically my mind becomes peaceful and it comes to the acceptance. Is it I understood that it's because of the association of pure devotee, it happened, the magic happened. Is that what you were mentioning about, Prabhuji?
I was mentioning that, as well as another point where we should. So I was mentioning two aspects of it. One aspect of it is when you are light-hearted, which means when you are in a true honest state about your own self in terms of your own acceptance of your own conditioning, and when you surrender to a bona fide devotee, then it becomes very easy for you to see through the light, see through the reality, see through the Siddhanta, see through the power of Krishna consciousness in front of your eyes, is one point I said. Another point as an opposite to this is we should not dwell on our magnanimity. Suppose, for example, you understood this and became light-hearted and took up everything upon yourself and became simple. Don't start to dwell on it, saying that you see what I became very light-hearted. You know what, I became very simple. You know what, I became completely undisturbed. Sometimes we start dwelling on that after a point in time, and that dwelling sometimes can become counterproductive. So just when you accomplish, move on rather than dwelling on how I accomplished. And okay, getting a pat on your back is not a problem, but dwelling on it beyond a point in time can actually cause counterproductive. So you may have achieved that, but just by the little bit of arrogance there that I got it, you may lose it. There's a beautiful pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam for that, but I'll not go there at this point in time. We'll keep it as a suspense for next time.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And here, what I understand is here I was depending upon the pure devotee indirectly. So automatically that arrogance didn't come in. And in my, like, I'm already convinced that
Great, great. But I'm saying sustenance of that. When you are, see, when we are in Mayapur Dham, when we are in
Mhm.
Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan Dham,
Mm,
tears flow down our eyes,
mm,
right?
mm.
But have you become a pure devotee at that time? No.
No,
So
no.
the idea is that just because you're crying in front of Krishna,
Mm,
and at that time the cry is true,
mm,
but that the true state is a state
mm,
at that point in time. When the true state become persistent for eternity, that's when we become self-realized soul. This is what is Madhurya Kadamini explains as Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Anishtita Bhajana Kriya means when I am in an unsteady bhajana,
mm,
suddenly my emotion goes to the highest of extremes. Suddenly my emotion go to the lowest of extreme. So
mm,
suddenly
mm,
I become like my hairs are standing on the end. I feel like missing Krishna, crying. So suddenly I say, oh my God, I'm such a nice devotee. But when you come out and see Kulfi Wala, so you all your Krishna prem and cry will run after, and you go to Kulfi and Chole Bhatura piche pade rahenge hum. So the idea is that is why in Krishna consciousness, getting emotional, getting into that state is one aspect of it. But to make it consistent, that is why in Madhurya Gadamini it is explained as Bhajana Kriya has got two trees, two branches. One is called Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, second is called Nishtita Bhajana Kriya. The Nishtita Bhajana Kriya is called Nishta. So, Sadhu Sangha, sorry, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, then Nishtha happens. So, Anishtita Bhajana Kriya to Nishtita is where that challenge is. We are all already in Bhajana Kriya. We are doing Bhajana. Nobody is none. As I said in the beginning, tell me how many hours, man hours we would have put in our chanting, hearing, writing notes, and everything. We have done that. But proportionate to that, the transformation has happened or not, it's a big question mark. That's when we have to depend on a living Brahmana, Vaishnavas, in whose help we will be able to cross over. बट सवाल ये भी नहीं पूछना चाहिए कि प्रभु जी अगर काश मेरे पास नारद मुनि होते, हम भी ध्रुव महाराज बन जाते हैं. सो काश आप ध्रुव महाराज होते, नारद मुनि मिल जाता. It's like, if you had been so it's like a question people ask, right? If I had Narada Muni type of personality, if I had God, I would have also become wonderful. So the answer is, have you become student like Dhruv Maharaj, become student like Prahlad Maharaj, become students like somebody that of that stature, you will definitely get. It is Krishna's prerogative to give you such a support system. It is Krishna's, Arey Baba, more than you and me, Krishna wants us. It is only we who are stopping him. It is up to us how fast we want to go to Krishna. Okay?
So true, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a wonderful explanation. And as you said, Prabhuji, initially, like now I understood. But before, as you said, as when the emotions came, then I was thinking that, okay, I became pure. As you said, it's not that you became pure and that's why you got emotions. And it's very easy to get the subtle ego, as you said, and again, with that subtle ego, the fall down is so easy. And when during my India trip, I at one point of time, I felt like, what is the point of listening to all lectures and everything? There's not even an inch of transformation in my heart. And I felt so, honestly, I should say, I felt so ashamed of myself. And then again, as usual, I took shelter of Krishna, and fortunately, he pulled me back. And
Because you are ashamed. He pulled you back because you are ashamed. So that is the secret. The day we become ashamed, Krishna will pull us in. The day we become, haha, I achieved it, Krishna will give a kick. So ashamed kick के बीच में हम उलझे हैं.
I know, keep moving between these
But
two.
it'll happen. It'll happen. It'll definitely happen. Vidyute hridaya granthis siddhyante sarva samsaya. Bhagavatam gives a commitment. If you continue with this process, hridayante sarva samsaya, which all the unwanted things, all the anomalies will have to go away. This is no brainer. But you have to be we need to have some patience. Utsaha nischaya dhairya. So dhairya is what required. In 5th canto Srimad Bhagavatam in Prachini Barhi episode, there is a very nice context where one devotee said, the Narada Muni and that allegory that happens. There's a very nice explanation. After chanting for 36,000 years, he got perfection. So when I read that, oh my God, after chanting for 36,000 years, हम यहाँ 36 साल में ऐसा मुकुट लेके घूम रहे हैं कि हम सीनियर डिवोटी हो गए हैं. 36,000 years somebody chanted. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is merciful. Who knows? Instead of 36 in 50 years, in 45 years, maybe in 2 lifetimes, we will make it. So we have a hope.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you so much
Hare
for
Krishna.
it. Wonderful.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this nice class. As always, we really missed you not being, not hearing from you for a very, very long time. Thank you
So
for
I
coming
was suddenly feeling overwhelmed and saying that, oh my God, I'm coming to this, family after a long time. कहीं तो, खोया हुआ जैसा लग रहा था मुझे अचानक.
I know. I was telling Shamlasika Devi Dasi Mataji, I said, we haven't heard from Prabhuji for a long time. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Geeta Mataji is one of your fans, Prabhuji. She always asks
Oh
me.
my God, I am fan of all of you, Baba. Just because of you are all engaging in service, हमारा दिन कट जाता है. वरना हम ऐसे ही कुत्ते की तरह घूमते रहते हैं इधर उधर.
No, Prabhuji, you are so busy in your work and services and everything, but still you give us time. So that was.
Okay, Baba, it's all good. But the speciality is being with you all and speaking Krishna Katha. It's very wonderful.
Yeah, I know. I remember you was traveling at South India tour also. There also you were so busy, but still you gave the time. So thank you so much for your love and dedication for our Nitya Harinam Sangha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So nobody has any question or comment, we can end up the call here. Vancha kalpatarusya krupa sindhu evacha patitanam pavane. Anant Koti Vaishnav ki jai.
Jai.
Vidas Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada
Ki
jai. Hari Prabhu ki jai. Somebody devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.